And this is Michaela Alexa, and she is drinking.
Alexis.
Is it Alexis? That's what I thought.
Alexis.
See, I don't know why I see, and I had to.
Why did you change my name?
Because I'm weird like that, and I'm like Google.
Alexa, get rid of Kyle.
That was so American of you.
I know.
Not
I
everything
was like, wait a
is
minute.
Google related.
I was like, wait a minute, I had it right.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, that was the perfect time to intro her, and I just missed that.
That's okay. That's okay.
Okay, step one.
Step
my
one.
name is Michaela Alexis.
Step
Nothing fancy. I'm Michaela, and I'm drinking coffee with Kyles.
Cheers.
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 So, Michaela, how do you like your coffee? What are you drinking there?
It really depends on the day. It depends on the work. It depends on the client. But normally I am about the almond milk and a little bit of stevia. And now if I'm out, it's different because I want to look fancy, right? If I'm going to a meeting. So I order the flat white with almond milk, which I'm not even sure if I really like it, but it just sounds really cool.
That's what I'm drinking right now is a flat white with
white.
coconut milk. Yes. Flat white.
I love a really good foamy cappuccino too. There's nothing, it's like cloud-like on the top. It's just heavenly.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. So what are you the most obsessed with professionally in 2 words right now?
Guys, that's so hard. I'm a writer, and you're telling me to narrow it down to 2 words. Super cliche, moving forward. Brand new chapter, new lifestyle, first time I'm not an employee, and I'm just moving forward one step at a time.
So how's that going? Like how does it feel to be not an employee anymore?
Free, terrifying, exciting, nerve-wracking, all of the things all at once, which is, I mean, this is the thing, is like entrepreneurship is like a drug. Like once you start it, you can't get out of it. And I think most entrepreneurs can understand that you don't have a choice anymore. Totally unemployable. Can't go back to the way things were. So I have really no choice but to make this work. So it's been a lot of fun. Next week I'm going to California, and the week after that I'm going to Spain. Never been to Europe. Never thought I would be the type of person that would be jetting off to all these amazing cities. I mean, the furthest that I've really been before this was Toronto for work. So really, really exciting, and definitely a whirlwind.
Well, I've never been to Spain, but I kind of like the music. Anyway.
Is that an actual song, or did you?
It's by the Three Dog Night.
Oh, okay. I was really impressed that you came up with that on the spot.
I'm not that impressive. So yeah, Three Dog Night, never been to Spain. Look it up. So that's awesome. Congratulations on that. I think that resonates with both of us and the entire community and everybody that, tunes into the show or is on LinkedIn. Like, I feel like that people boat of entrepreneurs is just so big, and people are jumping in the deep end together. So what's great about that is that as you're jumping in the deep end and just giving it a shot, there's so many other people doing it that you can all collaborate and do things together, and you're not alone. You don't have to go at it alone anymore. So, congratulations on jumping into the deep end at the water. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So what do you think, what challenges do you see ahead that you're going to have to overcome here that you're gearing up for?
Trying to figure out what exactly I want to be doing, what kind of work really excites me. I think I have a really good idea. The biggest challenge for me right now is that, you can be the most talented person in the world, but there's all sorts of things that you also need to think about. As the deals get bigger, the stakes get higher. And so like the other day I signed a contract and they asked for small business insurance. And quite frankly, I didn't even know small business insurance was a thing. So it's like things like that I'm really trying to learn. But like you guys said, if you live your life openly, you can just go and hop online and be like, have have no idea what I'm doing, guys. Does anybody have any recommendations? So that's been really great. And then other challenges are just getting used to the idea that there's not a paycheck that's coming in every 2 weeks. It's really up to me to kind of steer the ship. And but I think that's really exciting that I belong to myself. And then that's really what it feels like. You know, the sucky part is that I don't have coworkers to celebrate with and a bad boss to blame for anything. But it's really nice to wake up some days and be like, I think I'm just gonna watch Trailer Park Boys for the millionth time. You guys probably don't even know what Trailer Park Boys is.
Me?
Oh, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Super Canadian.
That's why we watch it. Much like Terrence and Phillip.
Yes, exactly.
So
great reference.
one really cool thing about what you're doing and where you're going is, again, I said this earlier, is a lot of us are doing the same thing. And Kyle and I, with Coffee with Kyles, with what we do individually away from Coffee with Kyles, we still are trying to narrow it down. Like, and the thing is even in corporate America and in America and corporate in Canada, those organizations are still, for the most part, they're figuring it out as they're going. They just, you know, they kind of like a duck, calm on the surface while feet are churning a million miles a minute.
Absolutely.
So one of the cool things also about waking up is caffeinated questions.
Yes. I haven't had enough coffee today yet. My dog woke me up at 2:30 in the morning.
So speaking of dogs and caffeine, would you rather have a dog with a cat's personality or a cat with a dog's personality?
Listen, I want to clear something up. You do not need to be either a dog person or a cat person. Granted, I have never had a cat, but that doesn't mean that I would not own a cat. I love all animals, big, small, cat, dog. So that doesn't answer your question. Would I want? I think I would. Oh gosh, I would be really sad if I had a dog with a cat's personality. If it was very standoffish. So I would probably say a cat with a dog's personality, which I have actually seen. I went to Hawaii a few years ago, and there was a cat. He's like called Concanese. I'm probably mispronouncing it to death, but it was so dog-like. Like it would actually sneak into our room, our Airbnb, and like climb into bed with us at like 3 or 4 in the morning. It was super cute.
If you could travel in time, would you travel forward in time or travel backward in time?
Definitely backwards, because then I would look like a genius. Right now I'd be like, nah, but I would go back and just impress people.
Nice. So on that note, would you rather
cult too? I probably shouldn't say that out loud, but like imagine like you would know so much information that people would be like you're a leader, right? So I don't know. I think that'd be cool to start
you would know who won the World Series every year. Yeah, I mean
people would come and just rub my head.
But then here's the question: is does that change the future? Anyway, your turn. So would you rather live through the beginning of the world or live through the end of the world?
Ooh, I really hate goodbyes. I'm that person that doesn't like to leave a party because I don't like for things to end. So I'm going to say the beginning.
If you had to learn how to play an instrument, would you learn how to play the piano or would you learn how to play the guitar?
So very, very random fact. I do know how to play an instrument. It is not either of those things. It is an organ.
Wow, that's kind of like a piano.
This is why. So my dad is from Trinidad, and he, growing up, we didn't have like the fancy toys or anything like that. He was very much like read, have experiences, all that stuff. So I wanted to learn how to play the piano. So I asked for it for Christmas, and my dad was like, no. Pianos are way too expensive, and so are keyboards. You're getting an organ that I found at a garage sale.
Wow.
So I learned how to play the organ.
I wish I had like organ music where I could be like, we're gathered here to see you, ladies and gentlemen.
I should incorporate it into some of my LinkedIn videos just to throw people off.
You and Christopher Curry should get together. Anyway.
Speaking of organs, this has nothing to do with it, but would you rather, Cinderella or Snow White? Which one?
Sorry, say that again?
Cinderella or Snow White?
Okay, so I back in the day when you had VHS, I actually like ripped through like 3 different VHSs of Cinderella because I would watch it like 3 times a day. So 100. Although, I mean, Sleeping Beauty, like, or
You gotta
Snow
pick
White.
one. You gotta pick one. It's this or
I
that.
really
Cinderella
like
or Snow White.
naps, though. I like shoes and I like naps. Can I be a hybrid?
Cinda
Like
White.
the top part of me just sleeps, and then the bottom of me has like really cool shoes on.
A hybrid, like a vampire / werewolf type of hybrid, or like a
whatever that would be. Snowrella.
like you could be like a LinkedIn / Instagram like hybrid. No.
Anyway.
I feel like I am that right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going for.
I feel like we all are.
I feel like we all are.
This is your fault. This is your fault. I shouldn't lose this round because this is your fault. Anyway, so now that the buzzer has sounded, we're going to get into a new part of the show called the double espresso shot. First espresso shot is if you could have coffee with any person that is no longer living, who would it be, and what would you talk about over coffee or whatever you would drink?
Maya Angelou, hands down.
Maya.
I think that like as a writer, her stuff, you read it and you almost like sing it when you read it because it's so musical. I know that sounds really dorky, but it's true. And she just has a voice on her. If you listen to any of her interviews, if I'm having a bad day, I will put on a podcast or an audiobook with her voice on it and immediately like makes me zen. So I would just talk to her about life. I think that she had so much wisdom beyond her lifetime, and I would just want to listen to her all day.
That's phenomenal. She's amazing. Now on the flip side, if you could have coffee with anybody in the world right now, we could make it happen, snapping our fingers. Who would that be, and what would you talk to them about over coffee?
I think it would probably be Brene Brown. I mean, I'm constantly recommending her books. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take back that answer where I said moving forward, because really my whole life lately has been about daring greatly and rising strong. And those are the names of her 2 books. And so that's what I would probably talk to her about: vulnerability and rising strong and resilience and moving forward and all of that good stuff, because I think she is amazing. I have a major girl crush on Brene Brown.
On Brene Brown?
Yeah.
So if you're out there, Brene Brown, we're going to connect you to Michaela. Let's make this happen. Drop it right here. We're going to tag you guys both, and let's make this coffee talk happen.
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Now, go ahead.
I was just going to say, have you read Toph Evans' book about #practical resilience?
I haven't. So here's the problem is, so I want to read my friends and my brother is actually, he won the Giller Prize 2 years ago for his book. And I find it really hard to read books of friends and family because I know them. So it feels really, really intimate. I don't know. Is that a weird thing? But I know I need to read it. I will read it. I don't know. I mean, especially when it comes to an older brother, I don't know if I want to know all of his deep, dark thoughts.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Michaela Alexis.
I see where you're coming from, for sure. I definitely do.
Storytelling,
so last thing, Michaela.
Journey, battling. I'm just making funny faces because I can.
Yeah. So last thing, parting words of wisdom or a thought-provoking question for all the viewers out there. We'll let you take it over.
I mean, I ask people this all the time. What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for?
Why not? What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for? Cool.
Why not?
Well, on that note.